Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang, finally, with Morsels of a Thought, number 1526. And today I am going to try something new. I am going from the general to the specific. Now, we had Prosper Me for uh, more than a few weeks. Prosper Me by Victoria Rader for Financial Focus Friday, and this was how to make the money work for you through the 35 universal laws, which is very, very general. We must follow those laws as well. I have something in my eye. Sorry. Then I want to go to something very specific. I met Chris NAUGLE at the Secret Knock in 2024, and I got his autograph. And he wants me to read this book for him. It is The Private Money Guide, Solutions to Finding Money, Where to Go and How to Ask. And it's the real estate edition by Chris NAUGLE. Now, I want to read this. I am no expert in it. As a matter of fact, I have not yet read this. In fact, I am not very good with money. And in fact, I have taken real estate courses and I wanted to become a real estate appraiser, but I did not go to the exam. So I am really a novice reading this book. So my purpose is to get you guys interested enough to go get this book from him. And I want to say hello to Tess Hulick, hello to Chris NAUGLE, hello John Clark, hello Gina Portoff, Marty Blue, and everybody who comes by here. I appreciate it. Mandio Lexi, and probably even Doug Vaughn. I don't know if he does or not, but maybe. And okay, so I will read the back cover to you first. Remember, my purpose is not to tell you how much I know. My purpose is to read enough of it to you to get you interested to go and find out on your own what he's really saying. Okay? So, deal? Deal. I hope so. Now, remember, I am no expert. All right. No expert. Polar Prutasarani, H&M Realty Corporation says, money is out there, and Chris demonstrates how to find it by explaining how he grew up and the actions that shaped his mind to show that anyone can find money and find success in real estate. If you're looking for a new book to add to your collection of resources, this is a must. M.o.A.T. I really enjoyed that Chris not only informs you of the multiple money options out there, but he also provides templates and breakdowns of each one to show you the benefits. Read this book and then read it again to get it to really sink in. This book is great for any investor in any stage of the game. Polar Prutasarani. This is spelled Prutasserane. Taser is part of the name. H&M Realty Group. Ooh, 5 stars. And Eric Hendel, Hendel, says, this is the complete guide to understanding private money and its utilization in real estate deals. Not just an introduction. You can continually reference and apply knowledge from this book for a pathway to success. That was Eric Hendel. This one is by Dave Farrow, 2-time Guinness Record holder for greatest memory. Chris NAUGLE is the real deal. Chris helped grow my real estate portfolio in a matter of months by providing in-depth knowledge and assistance when financing deals. Dave Farrow, 2-time Guinness record holder for greatest memory. And I'll show you a photo in the back. That is Chris NAUGLE. He does look like his photo. Okay, ISBN 978-179-075-7763. Want to learn more about Chris Naugle? Visit chrisnaugle.com today. Interested in Flip Out Academy? Visit flipoutacademy.com today. Chris Naugle is a nationally recognized entrepreneur and has amassed 16 years of high-level experience in the financial services. Let me check the year of this book. Let me check. I think it's probably 17 years by now. I think. You never know these things. Yeah, it doesn't say. Oh, okay. 16 years of high-level experience in the financial services and advisory industry, specializing in alternative investments, retirement strategies, and wealth accumulation. Chris has personally managed over $30 million in assets. Using his expert knowledge in finance, he has successfully bought, renovated, and sold hundreds of properties. Through his passion and success in real estate, Chris went on to co-found Flip Out Academy with his wife, a real estate education company that coaches its students on how to get results and create sustainable and consistent passive income through real estate. Now, like I say, morsels of a thought is for morsels of a thought of wisdom. Knowing the right thing to do is wisdom, and then the actual doing of it is virtue. So I am borrowing wisdom from people who have been successful in things that I am not necessarily knowledgeable about whatsoever. So says to Yin Yang, morsels of a thought. Congrats on 1349 plus 1. Be your own bank. BYOB. Chris Naugle. Naugle hyphen something. Please read me on your show. You can tell me what that says at the end over there. Okay. Oh, I see. On. I think maybe. Okay. Disclaimer and FTC notice copyright 2018 by Chris Naugle, all rights reserved. So that was 7 years ago. So by now he has 23 years of high level experience in the financial services and advisory industry. 23 years. Okay. No part of this book, all rights reserved. Copyright 2018 by Chris Naugle, all rights reserved. Disclaimer and FTC notice, no part of this book may be reproduced or transmitted in any form by anyone or by any means, electronic, mechanical, or digital, including photocopying or recording, or by the information storage and retrieval system without written permission by the author. While attempts have been made to verify the information provided in this publication, neither the author nor the publisher assumes any responsibility for errors, omissions, or contrary interpretations of the subject matter herein. This book is for entertainment purposes only. The views expressed are those of the author alone and should not be taken as expert instructions or commands. The reader is responsible for his or her own actions always. Adherence to all applicable laws and regulations, including international, federal, state, provincial, and local governing, professional licensing, business practices, advertising, and all other aspects of doing business in the U.S., Canada, or any other jurisdiction is the sole responsibility of the purchaser or reader. Neither the author nor the publisher assumes any responsibility or liability whatsoever on the behalf of the purchaser or reader of these materials. Any perceived slight of any individual or organization is purely of these materials. I sometimes use affiliate links in the content. This means if you decide to make a purchase, I will get a small sales commission. Good morning, Elizabeth Ann. Hi, how are you doing? I only endorse products that I have personally used or trust and have found useful. Please make sure and do your own research before making any purchase online. All translations of this document must be approved in writing by the author. You can contact Flip Out Academy for permission or to translate or reproduce this and for distribution agreements. Printed in the United States of America. To order copies for you or your business, go to www.chrisnaugle.com. It used to make a difference, the www, but nowadays it doesn't. That's what I know. Yes, it is a new book, as a matter of fact. I am no expert, and I'm disclaiming myself because I am just trying to garner some interest in going to get this book because Chris Naugle is a real person I have met. He gave me permission to read this book out loud on this show on day 1349. You can also email contact@chrisnaugle.com or call Flip Out Academy at 716-800-1892. Written by Chris Naugle, edited by Larissa Naugle, Lorissa, illustrated by Shauna Decker, with an A. First edition 1.1. A free gift to help you get a fast start. And there's a little photo, black and white, of a something or other that I'm reading about right now. Like I say, yes, a free gift to help you get a fast start. I am honored that you chose to pick up my book. Let me see if I can get this. I know your time is valuable, and choosing to spend that time reading this book means a lot to me personally. I hope you will gain from my material, my story, and my experiences to get out of this book what you are looking for. To get out of this book what you are looking for. I have followed many successful people in an effort to learn the secrets from their success, and it always points back to one concept. In its simplest form, successful people get very good at two things: investing their time and their money to further their success. I would like to repay that favor in a small way with a little bonus for those who buy the book. To be successful in real estate, you must become good at many things. I feel the two most important things are: one, finding lucrative deals at the right price; two, finding the money to buy these properties. In an effort to simplify how to do these things very well, I have created guides that provide you the necessary information you will need to do these two things better. I wanted to provide you with these two guides as a free gift. To get access to these bonus guides, just follow the instructions below. Text FLIP OUT, FLIPOUT, to 314-665 1767. I'll repeat that: 314-665-1767. And this is 10 tips to finding lucrative off-market deals. For many people, simply finding good deals can be the hardest part of starting their real estate. Anyway, it's very fuzzy, so I got that far. You see, this is very, very fuzzy. So, like I say, I got that far. And here's more of that same book title. All right. Contents. Preface, Chapter 1, Biggest Barrier of Entry into Real Estate Investing. Chapter 2, Money Sources. Chapter 3, Finding the Deal. Chapter 4, Analysis and Strategy. Chapter 5, Structuring the Deal. Chapter 6, The Perfect Loan Proposal. Chapter 7, Execution. Chapter 8, Second Phase of Financing. Chapter 9, Get to your goal faster. Chapter 10, Strategies to Cashing Out. Preface. It is so important for you to know that I was raised in a lower middle class family, and no one in my extended family was wealthy or even came close. I had such big dreams and lots of ambition growing up, but my desires came to a halt when they required money. As a teenager, I worked at a small farm in the mornings and a restaurant in the evenings. The manager of the restaurant degraded me so badly during my shifts that I left work constantly feeling like I was hopeless and worthless. After weeks of entering work with a knot in the pit of my stomach, it got to the point where I couldn't take the unwarranted verbal abuse any longer, and one night after he had name-called me, I plucked up enough courage to get in his face and scream, "I quit!" This was the critical moment that defined the rest of my life. He underlines it. It happened when I was only 16 years old, younger than most in making this decision. I made a promise to myself that I would never work for anyone else ever again. He underlines it. But I knew I still needed to make money for my car expenses and wanted spending money for traveling to snowboard events. Unlike my friends, I didn't have the leisure of asking my mom for $20 whenever I wanted. After tossing a few ideas around in my mind, I decided to start a clothing line out of my basement. I knew there was an opportunity to make money at it because I could sell the line at the skateboard and snowboard competitions I entered. I'll never forget coming home after work that night to tell my mom about my grandiose idea. I not only had her support, but she also became one of my seamstresses. I called the new apparel line Fat Clothing Company, PHAT, and it blended my love for snowboarding and my need for income harmoniously. I was able to start Fat Clothing Company with a $500 loan from the bank, and it was backed by a dream. That small clothing line would soon turn into a Western New York chain of skateboard and snowboard stores called Fat Man Board Shops. PHATMAN Board Shops. BOARD. Many years later, after the recession in the early 2000s, I was forced to get a second job that landed me in the financial services industry. What started as a temporary part-time job turned out to be something I loved. In my first year, I had made $76,000, which was more money than I had made in all the years I owned the board shops. I consolidated my real estate. Sorry. I consolidated my retail stores down to 2 locations, and in 2006, I franchised Fat Man, PHATMAN, and sold one of those 2 stores. This enabled me to focus more time on my financial advisory business, which was doing very well. I remained a licensed financial advisor with many other accreditations until I sold my book of business in 2018. In 2006, I started my first flip. In 2007, I finished that first flip. In 2008, I decided to purchase a dilapidated real estate strip. I decided to purchase a dilapidated real estate strip mall that would be my first commercial development project and the future home of Fat Man. This was a crazy idea, and I had to borrow over $300,000 from a group of hard money lenders to make it happen. This was my first experience with hard money lenders, and it proved to be a hard lesson. Halfway through the renovations, the 2008 market downturn started, and I was quickly running out of money to pay these lenders the insane interest payments that I had agreed upon. As things worsened with the economy, my financial advisory business came to almost a dead halt, and Fat Man's profits dropped 30% overnight. I was about 2 months away from going bankrupt. I'm not the type of person to believe in luck, but what happened next was as close to luck as I've ever seen. I managed to rent the other 3 units in the plaza because the plaza was then occupied. I was able to get a local community bank to refinance the deal so I could pay those hard money lenders back. I thanked God for this because these lenders were the type of people who not only would have foreclosed on my property, but also would have taken off a few of my fingers had I defaulted on the loan. In 2009, I was back at it, buying rundown apartment buildings for pennies on the dollar. By 2014, I had built up a rental portfolio of 36 units. This would seem like a dream come true, but in reality, I was so broke that I had to ask Larissa, my girlfriend at the time, now wife, to help me pay the utility bills and my mortgage. I sold Fat Man in 2010 to free up time and to help fund this real estate venture. Larissa and I even sold our big, beautiful house that we treasured because we still needed more money to keep the machine going. We had to make very difficult decisions, which included living in one of our apartments and living extremely frugal to get where we are today. We had to tell our friends, no, sorry, we can't attend, way too often. At the time, we thought that the struggle would never end. But now, looking back, it was only for a fraction of time. On a positive note, we never had to claim bankruptcy and the sacrifices we made ensured to us that we could get through anything. Let's look at where I was financially in more depth. I had 36 rented units and I was worth quite a bit on paper, so how could I be broke? The answer is simple. I did not understand how money worked in real estate. You see, I used banks to fund each deal. That means they gave me 80% of the purchase price, and I had used my own money to do the renovations and to pay the remaining 20% plus closing costs. Every time I would get a little money, I would dive back into another deal, which would send me deeper and deeper into debt. In 2014, I sold every property I owned, and to my surprise, it was very profitable. This is when it came to me that I didn't know what I didn't know. There had to be an easier way to get these deals funded. I needed to learn about money. I needed to gain more knowledge. I needed to be educated on how the real estate business actually worked. This is where it all changed. We went ahead and spent over $80,000 being educated and mentored by some of the best real estate investors in the business. We racked up our credit cards for our education because we didn't have the money in full, but we could make payments. We knew we couldn't turn back once we were committed. Once those cards were swiped, it was go time. Sorry. Today, my wife and I own 7 companies. We founded Flip Out Academy, which is a results-based education system that focuses on our students' success. We had our own TV show, Risky Builders, air on HGTV, along with a couple of our flips featured on 2 other HGTV shows. We hold over $8 million in real estate. We have done well over 200 deals since 2014, and we live the life we used to dream about. Wow. The greatest part is that the best is yet to come. I can tell you this, the same can be true for you. But first, you must understand this. Money has always been and will always be the most important tool you will ever use to build the life you want, he underlines it. Let me tell you what I wish I had learned when I started. Like I mentioned earlier, my first real estate deal was a flip in 2006 at the age of 28. I was doing well as a financial advisor and owned 2 profitable real estate stores. I was 3 retail stores. I better slow down. Sorry. Like I mentioned above, like I mentioned earlier, my first. Okay, there are 2 more paragraphs. Entrepreneur consultant Chris NAUGLE. There are 2 more paragraphs. I'm going to read you the next 2 paragraphs next week. And this is the preface. And then we've got the chapter 1, which is biggest barrier of entry into real estate investing, next week for that first chapter. And I actually started to draw stuff on this, but yeah. Okay, anyway, so I would like you to go and get this book. It's called The Private Money Guide, Solutions to Finding Money, Where to Go and How to Ask, Real Estate Edition by Chris NAUGLE. And I want you to get the book so that you can read along with me, because if you understand what it says, you can write them in the comments, please, because I am not an expert. I don't know this stuff. So we will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is for the listen, learn, love. Listen, learn, love how to dramatically improve your relationships in 30 days or less. Okay. Old Kinderhook.